money. Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward and chat family. As always, we appreciate you guys for kicking off the day with the Woo Crew. So going ahead, let's run up those likes today. And we got to jump back into these Detroit Pistons. But before we do have the Vegas Super Chats going on right now. Definitely at the first 50, we got that merch giveaway for you all. And I see some people in the chat here. Here's a good question. We're going to wrap up the Pistons talk in this segment, but we do got some TLB on the way. From Greg, 2025, what grade do you give Brad Holmes so far? So definitely, chat family, key that up, and maybe we'll get back to that during those segments. And Randall Smalls, you are on one this morning, but I'm not going to read the first one. But this one is kind of – I can't read the first one, dog. This was funny, though. Sam hanging with the brothers with this. It be like that sometimes.
Oh. I didn't even know what I was doing. It's all good.
Sam is my brother. Yes. But look, we talked a lot about the Detroit Pistons and the fact that the identity that they've been forging to this point is not what we saw on display yesterday. Yeah. And to me, when your team or your even the teams you work with, when you're raising kids or even yourself, you want to know, okay, I've identified, I can get back to the standard so that we can bounce back. And that was a lot of what you heard yesterday. They seemed annoyed with themselves, even to the point that, let's hear from JB Bickerstaff, man. Let's definitely do that. JB Bickersmooth. You got JB Bickerstaff?
Oh, yeah. Both games of a home and home isn't easy in this league. You've been around it. You've been able to see how, especially a team like Washington, kind of getting embarrassed on Tuesday, how they can switch things up. How did they change things differently in tonight's matchup?
I think this is one we need to own responsibility for. Don't get me wrong, not taking any credit away from what they did because they played well. But we allowed them to give up 69 points in the first half, to give up backdoor layup after backdoor layup, to not get back in transition. I think they had 20 fast break points in the first half. That allowed them to believe that they could. And you get an NBA team belief on any given night, anybody could win. They shoot 44% from three. Our fourth quarter defense wasn't good enough. So again, credit to them for coming back and competing the way they did. But, this is one that, we got to eat. Because we didn't do the job.
For them, 20 made three-pointers. Did you see it as more of a, from your perspective, guys not switching, or more so getting caught, double teaming and just finding the open man?
I thought, again, they did a great job of moving the ball, playing unselfish. The urgency on the defensive end for us just wasn't there. Time and time again, we were late closing out the bodies. These games, they suck with the outcome. But sometimes you got to learn the hard way.
21 free throw attempts for Cade tonight. Of course, free throws have been a topic for him if he's getting to the line enough. What did you see tonight, whether it was approach or
taking ownership, not taking any credit from what they did, but allowing them to perform in that way? Mm-hmm. Why do you think tonight was more challenging for you guys?
Because from the start of the game, we didn't take we didn't take this matchup as serious. Obviously you could look at a team and look at their record. It's a position we were in last year, we came out, we didn't play Detroit basketball tonight. We allowed them, to stay in the game, give them confidence. And, that hurt us. It hurt us and, ended up losing.
Did anyone speak up tonight to the group just now in the locker room about it?
Pretty much everybody. We knew. We knew we didn't do our job tonight. We knew we didn't, handle business. So, everybody was disappointed.
How does this feel? I guess in comparison to even earlier this season, just given that this team has been pretty consistent for 3 months or so. I guess just what's the feeling now compared to earlier, given that the team has had success?
I would just say, it's a lesson for us. Obviously we want to hang our hat on, playing Detroit basketball every night and being consistent with that. And, we just didn't do that tonight. And, hopefully we learn from it.
Anybody else?
Hey, and you know what? If you're going to take an L, then you want to at least know that this team has learned from it. And that's what I took away from it. You heard JB Bickerstaff step to the podium, had some attitude, You know that they were all probably at each other's, heads with this because they dropped one on their home floor in front of an audience that pulled up for them. They know that the fans have been getting back into this thing, and for themselves as well. They have a standard that they want to play to, and we heard about this earlier in the season from JB Bickerstaff, even after a win. And he went off. It was a win against the Hornets. He said, "No, absolutely not. Like I'm not happy. Like, yeah, we won, but we didn't play to the standard." And so what encouraged me about a team that takes an uncharacteristic loss is that they can identify what's done wrong and that they can get back on that right trail. And I expect them, the leaders of this team, the vets of this squad, and the type of player that Isaiah Stewart is, he carries that type of demeanor all the time, but he doesn't mince his words. So you know that this team has definitely gone in there already after the game and talked about it. And it pairs with what we were hearing, man. They were like, us in the media, like, bro, they're heated. And so I'm looking forward to how they respond despite kind of some tough games ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they use it as a learning lesson, that will be the one positive we can take from last night. I certainly will as a fan, in terms of not just like scoffing at opponents. You thought you could do it against the Wizards, but obviously I couldn't. And the Pistons, I mean, Isaiah Stewart said as much. They didn't take this matchup as seriously as maybe they should have, and hopefully they learn their lesson to never do that again, because even the Washington Wizards, and I get it, it's easy to say now that they came into LCA and beat us. Even the Washington Wizards, they've got some stuff to play for. They're trying to find out what they have in Alex Sarr, and how impressive was he last night? He was really good, including that elite rim protection when Cade Cunningham was looking to
get the dunk.
Yeah, looking for the go-ahead dunk or layup, and he had 19 very efficient points, 3 of 6 from 3, 7 of 12 from the floor. And even the Wizards, when you look at their roster, it's like these are a lot of prideful guys who have played a lot of important games in the NBA and been very good and have done a lot of winning. I mean, Chris Middleton was a champion not that long ago, second best player on a championship team. Jordan Poole was a champion even more recently than Chris Middleton and was a prominent member of that Warriors team. Marcus Smart has played over 100 playoff games in his career. No team in the NBA is just a complete pushover. And even the Wizards, the Wizards who we all took lightly as fans and they took lightly as a team, if you give them a chance, if you leave them wide open for threes, if you play sloppy, they'll kick your butt. It just is what it is.
Yep, and that's why I continue to say that's been their Achilles heel. They're going to have to pick it up as it relates to that type of defense, because I see it on the man-to-man. They're good. And that's what just kind of confuses me about how often I've seen them kind of get waxed by teams from the three-point line. So I think that a lot of it has to do as well with their desire to try and pack the paint, grab the rebounds and such. But after about 2 or 3 swings around the perimeter, their defense just seems to lose one of the shooters. And the reason why I do believe that their motor is something that can help that cause is because you look in the first half of that game, right? There was a couple plays when Asar Thompson was on the court and they tried to shoot threes. And what did he do in like the first, I don't know, however many minutes of the game? He got blocks. And so that's where I'm like, these guys have to keep that type of intensity the entire time, because we know that we saw our good Detroit Pistons teams in the playoffs. That's how they played the entire time. We hear PTSD 2004 Shaq still talking about this team, trying to call them board and this, that, and the other. We all know when you go back to that team, not just that year, but even the year after and the years before, it was a nonstop defense. We were going to lock you down from start to finish. We don't coast. And that's what this team has to get right, because I'm telling you guys, if they do not, you will go into the playoffs feeling good. And the last couple times we went there, they got swept because they were not ready to meet the level or intensity of those other teams that were going to put in that work every single night. And that's where I'm really hoping, as a litmus test, and as them learning from this thing, like you said, maybe the most positive thing to come out of this is that they know what they've done wrong. That's where I'm hoping this team goes, and down the stretch of the season, whether they're winning or losing, hopefully a whole lot more winning than losing, that they're putting forth maximum effort. They're not a team that can afford to not. They are where they are right now because we notice an increase in their maximum output of effort and hustle and diving on the floor, being in position defensively, taking charges, defending more at the rim. Those are things that they're going to have to continue to be, because if they're not rebounding the ball well, they're not running well. Then you're putting this team in a position. There's 2 things here. If you're getting out rebounded, you're giving them a better opportunity to have more chances. Or a couple times they got the initial stop. but then the second chance point was a back-breaking 3 in a game that you lost by 4. So it's just little things, man, little things. But I got another video I wanted to play. Unless you had another comment on the game, it's from our chat family member.
No, go ahead and play it.
Hey, let's hear from Mr. Deshaun and a little man, his little man that he believes is only gonna know winning basketball.
Give me 1 second. I forgot you throw these in here.
Yeah, no, it was cool, man. Showing up to the arena yesterday, it was dope. Everybody outside, the Chevy Plaza was packed, and my mind instantly went to playoff basketball, and that's what was on a lot of people's minds yesterday. So that's what probably stings the most about yesterday's losses. You want to see them continue to handle business. That's what we've grown accustomed to with this team is, oh, no, they beat the teams like this. It's not just a notion of maybe scoffing at it, but we expected them to go and hold to their standards more so than not.
Yeah, no, and that's why wouldn't we expect the Pistons to take care of business last night? It's just, as I said before, the NBA or any sport, when you're that up-and-coming team, the humble pie is going to get you first before the title contention gets you. It just is what it is, and we've all experienced it with all of our teams, both recently and many years ago, whether it was the Red Wings or the Tigers. It's just the way that it is. It's a rite of passage. But it's unfortunate that those fans that you got to talk to didn't get a chance to see a win last night. Do you got that video, JB?
Yep.
We found some special Detroit Pistons fans in the building. Hey, tell the people your name and where you from.
Oh, Deshaun from the west side. This little Mace.
Hey,
he from West Bloomfield, though.
Hey, let's rock. Hey, you know what? We waited a long time for the Pistons to have some hope and some promise like this. How you feeling about these Pistons right now?
Man, they're a young team on the come up, man. They making a leap. Expected sooner than expected, but we here for it, man. I've been watching them since 2002, Jerry Stackhouse.
So you a diehard. You go back.
Man. I'm an OG.
Hey, I feel that, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? 3-1-3 day. You turning up for 3-1-3 day?
Oh yeah, we got the fam out here. We turning up, man. We had to come watch the game, man.
Hey, you know what, man?
Yeah.
He's only gonna know winning Pistons basketball.
That's all he gonna know, man. He lucky, man. He ain't gonna know the struggle. Yeah, man. Let's go, Detroit. Let's win this 2-game streak on the Washington Wizards. And man, let's get to 50 wins, man.
Let's rock. Hey, thank you guys, man. Thank you.
Man.
Yo, I almost forgot about that. First, shout out to Deshaun, chat family member, and Mace as well. Those types of interactions mean the world to me because I heard from a lot of different people at yesterday's event that said, say what up, though, to Woodward Sports. Say what up, though, to the Woo crew. And to have that type of support when we're putting boots on the ground and to hear that more and more and more, people say, hey, y'all were on it when nobody else was, about the Pistons. That type of stuff is definitely beyond encouraging. So shout out to Deshaun. And then to have the dancing usher back in the building, bro, not only the LCA light up, but all across social media, man, everyone started sharing that thing. So shout out to Mr. Shannon Sales, the dancing usher, as most people know him. And everybody was like, yo, man, I remember him from back in the day. And I was like, how many years has this been? How old are we? Is he really back in the day, KG?
I mean, at this point, I haven't seen him since the Palace days, bro. But he a real cool dude, man. So it was good to see him back in that atmosphere, man. I don't know if he's officially back with the team, but it's just good to have him back.
Hey, dope. But dancing usher, man.
Hey, I mean,
it's the man.
Yeah, he's the man.
No, at one point he was the only reason to go to the Pistons games.
You know what?
He was the only source of entertainment for real.
I be through with you, Kid Kool-Aid. I like 4 pictures with him one season, dog.
Oh man,
it was just like that.
Yeah,
it was literally like that.
Tough times, man.
Tough times.
Radio TLB.
Got a TLB. Stay connected, though, with Woodward Sports on all social platforms. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, along with YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok for the latest sports news, live updates, and behind.